Hey, good people, welcome to the channel. We are jumping into the 1994 original studio album for the Dave Matthews Band. I'm Musically Malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. Now, I know of the Dave Matthews Band. I was born in 88, so 90s, early 2000s, and they're still obviously making music to this day, which is incredibly impressive. So I'm very familiar with them just existing. However, I have never listened to a full album of theirs. I've only listened to a handful of songs because of this channel, some of the live streams that I've done where people can submit songs. There's one person on the channel who's submitted multiple songs, and I've enjoyed them all and knew I wanted to look further into the Dave Matthews Band. So that's why we're here, and I figured this was the best place to start. Now, I did, when I was at the record store a couple of months ago, hold on. I'm coming. I did end up kind of prematurely. And this was also after I realized Dave Matthews had kind of a solo thing. And so you have Dave Matthews and the Dave Matthews Band. So I have this, Dave Matthews, Some Devil. It's a heavy vinyl. I have the Dave Matthews Band, Come Tomorrow, which is a fold out. It's pretty neat art on this one. Look at that. I have Before These Crowded Streets. That's a really neat one because it's got like this gloss here, which obviously makes it look like, you know, it actually has a drink that was set on it. And that's a fold out. So a lot of interesting things in that one. What's going on? What's going on, big guy? Okay, I'll have to figure that out later. And I have Crash, which I think is the 1996 or so. Another fold out. And last but not least, and technically first, there it is, Under the Table and Dreaming. So that's what we're checking out today. So I'll finally be able to listen to that. Let me throw these back over here. Yeah, so I knew I wanted to get into them, and I ended up just like grabbing all their stuff. So I know that I'll like it though. So basically, we're going to listen through this album. I'm going to take some notes while we're going through, so we'll have a little discussion after each song. I try my best not to interrupt the songs. And last but not least, if you are interested in the music videos, live performances from this album, all of that is over on Patreon. There's probably well over 2 hours of content that'll be over there. So feel free to give that a look. But let's go ahead and jump in and get things started with track number 1, The Best of What's Around. I'm really excited for this.
It seems your eyes are troubled.
Jumping in.
Your time with me. Would you say you're feeling low? And so a good idea would be to get it off your mind. See you and me have a better time than most can dream of it better than the best. So can we put on through whatever tears it has. Whatever holds us down, and if nothing can be done, we'll make the best of what's around. Turns out my well,
His voice is so beautiful.
that really matters. And hurts not much when you're around.
That snare's so poppy.
Push your hand up into the
Probably most excited for some saxophone. Cool way of saying that. Very common for its time, this slow fade out. It's like nobody knew how to end songs. Awesome. Oh my goodness, man. I have so many initial reactions and feelings to that. The Dave Matthews flow is so unique. And obviously that's part of why they are who they are. Is just something that stands out so much about the way that he chooses to sing, the melodies, the voice inflections, and his voice is so smooth no matter what he's doing. And it just feels like this very flowy experience through the songs. It's just unconventional and really unique. Such talented musicians, the mixture of instruments, that's one of the things I'm most excited about, because I think that really contributes to this incredible sonic scape that they build, that you do feel immersed into the music. And so that's really, really cool. As far as lyrically, man, I love this idea, the best of what's around. Like, let's make the best of it, essentially, is what's being said. He talked about it being more important who you're with, not where you are. And I love that, because I think that is so true. You know, when it comes to my wife, when it comes to my children, it's like, I can go anywhere. We can get through anything. We'll make the best of what's around, as long as you're with me. And I love that idea that he said, hurts not much when you're around. And honestly, that's what I hope that I can be like to my wife, you know, because life brings its own things, but I want to be the kind of friend, the kind of spouse that you can't always solve everything. You can't always make it perfect, but that my presence is encouraging, soothing, helpful, whether I'm actually like proactively doing something or I'm just there, just like abiding, just still. Because sometimes that's necessary too, right? Because I think the tendency is to always fix everything. But I want to be the kind of person that's just like, my presence brings that feeling of strength, or that idea that's like, as long as you're here, I know we can make it through. So love that, man. What a cool song. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's not much information because we'll float back and forth from at times to Genius, the website. So this just says the song's theme suggests no matter what situation one finds themselves in, there are always things to be thankful for, especially the people in your life. Whatever obstacles life may present, one can still simply make the best of what's around. Awesome. And I do know that, like, I read where was it at that I read about? Oh, it was in here. Let me see, how does this look for you guys? This is about the album. Because it was Dave Matthews' sister who was killed by her husband, I think it was. Hold on, it's in here somewhere. Maybe it was somewhere else I read it. But it was, I think his sister, let me look it up real quick. His sister was killed by her husband in a murder-suicide. January 1994. Dave Matthews' older sister, Anne, was murdered in South Africa by her husband in a domestic violence murder-suicide. So awful, man. The loss profoundly impacted Matthews, leading him to take in her children with his other sister, Jane. The album Under the Table and Dreaming is dedicated to her memory. Wow. All right, this is track 2. What would you say? Harmonica. I love how loose the strings sound on his guitar too.
Up and down, Papa's hair.
So fun. Oh.
You came tumbling after. Cause of original sin. Rip away the tears. Drink a home to happy years. You may find a lifetime's passed you by. What would you say? Don't drop the big one. You a monkey on a string. Well, don't cut my lifeline. Doggy on a chain. Well, don't bite
So fun. So much like soul in it. Oh.
What you say.
Oh, dude. What would you say? Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. Man, he is such an interesting songwriter. I talk about this a lot on the channel, but that's just what blows me away about gifted songwriters. Not only the ability to, create this compelling sound, but the lyrical journey and what to do with it because ultimately looking at a lot of his song titles, you really don't know what to expect going into it. I mean, the best of what's around, you could make a good guess. What would you say? You could probably make a good guess, but then you get into satellite, rhyme and reason, typical situation, dancing Nancies, ants marching, and he's going to use these vehicles to weave these interesting messages. If I had to guess, I would say this song is about just the evils and difficulties that exist in the world, the things that happen that you really don't have a great answer for. And he's like, what would you say? It's kind of like, what is your answer to these things? So let's see. This says, there's not really any information on this page. Okay, according to Fansite, the song is about living for the moment. Really interesting, man. Let's see what this says. So if we click on the annotations here, I was there when the bear ate his head. Thought it was a candy. Everyone goes in the end. If you're looking for meaning in this particular line, you may find a life... Oh my gosh. Come on. Like trolling in the annotations. Death is knocking on the door. No one thinks it is their time yet, but it comes for everyone. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I feel like what he's saying here about the bear comment is ultimately probably just talking about strange deaths. And I mean, because unfortunately, people die in some really strange and tragic and unexplainable and like 1 in a million type ways. And so maybe that's kind of what he's just pointing to, that there's not always a great answer for all of it, and that it's a way of talking about the idea of everybody having to face death in the end, one way or the other. I don't know. It's almost an interesting song for Final Destination. All right. So fun, man. This is going to be great. It's going to be such a fun journey through their music, man. I can't wait to see their live stuff as well. Like I said, all of that'll be over on Patreon. We'll definitely have over 2 hours of content there. Okay, for this album alone. All right, this is track number 3, titled Satellite.
Satellite in my eyes, like a diamond in the sky. How I wonder, satellite strong from the moon, and the world your balloon peeping Tom for the mother station.
Oh.
Winter's cold, spring races. Satellite headlines read someone's secrets you've seen.
Wow.
Ears have been. Satellite dish in my eye. Tell me more. Who's the king of your satellite castle? Winter's cold, spring races.
Oh, wow.
Satellite in my eyes, like a diamond in the sky. How I wonder, satellite strong from the moon, and the world your balloon keeping time for the mother station. Winter's cold, spring races.
Gosh, drummer's killing it, dude. Man, I know I'm just going to catch myself in awe so many times through listening to them. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know, at least I believe, based on a few things that I've seen or heard, is that Dave Matthews does talk about like some social issues and isn't afraid to call things out. And I think that's necessary and important, and music's a wonderful way to do that. Now I'm curious, the idea of the Weatherman's satellite eyes, you know, because sometimes the idea of having like dinner plate eyes is connected to drugs, like big, you know, eyes super wide, pupils really small. So I wonder if he's speaking something to that as well about the Weatherman. So we'll see if we can find anything about that. That's a bit of a stretch, but that's kind of what I feel. I feel, though, that the song primarily is speaking about kind of government overreach, social issues, the idea of being watched and monitored, which, if you think too hard about it, really makes you frustrated. And this was in 1994, so gosh, you can only imagine, you know, after obviously September 11th and the things they enacted in the states. What is it, the Patriot Act, that took government surveillance to a whole nother level. So let's see. Satellite. What? We're in the wrong album here. What's going on? Hold on. It's giving me the wrong song list. Here we go. Music video was third and final for an under the table song. Features there's not a lot of information. Yeah, that makes sense, but Dave looks up to the sky, marvels at the idea of a satellite. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look up, look down, look all around. Hey, satellite. I feel like that's more so speaking to the nature of what the satellite does. It looks up, looks down, looks all around. The king of your satellite castle, right? I mean, I really get the feeling that he's speaking against government overreach and monitoring, because it's like, who's the king of the satellite, you know? Reference to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles, Girl with Kaleidoscope Eyes, which ties back to the first verse, like a diamond in the sky, could be a reference to tripping. The Weatherman, also known the weather due to satellite seeing through satellite eyes. Interesting. Let me know if you have any other thoughts around that song. Okay, we're going to go on to track number 4, titled Rhyme and Reason. The music's just so soft on the ears, man. It's such a beautiful experience. Wow. Dave can really turn on the attitude when he wants, right?
How long I'm tired of my mind in knots, my stomach real. In concern of what I might do or what I've done. Just got
Well, typo.
Voices must be my soul. I've had enough of being alone. I got no place to go. My head won't leave my head alone. I don't believe it will until I'm dead and gone. My head won't leave my head alone. I don't believe it will until I'm 6 feet underground.
The drummer just crushing.
So young, here I am again, talking to myself. TV players. Oh man, oh how I wish I never smoke or drink to reason with my hair. But sometimes this thick confusion grows till I cannot bear it at all. Needle to the vein, needle to the vein. Take this needle on my vein, my friend. I said my head won't leave my head alone. I don't believe it will till I'm dead and gone. My head won't leave my head alone. I don't believe it will till I'm 6 feet underground in my grave. Lying cold in my grave. My reason, take my head off. This terror I'm feeling. I'm going back out, see the mind for white clear. And the needle made my great escape. I seem cold inside. My head leaves me behind. But before cold
Wow. Oh my gosh, dude. It's like I've seen enough of Dave Matthews' face to imagine what he looks like singing this. But the intensity, man, he's really something special. This is crazy for a debut album too. I mean, he really feels it and is really in it. My head won't leave my head alone. Right? It's that idea that like sometimes it's not even the exterior issues that are going on. It's you. It's what's going on in here and how you manage those and deal with them. that we're all facing a battle in our minds, right? And my head won't leave my head alone. That even when there's not an exterior enemy, there can still be the enemy in your mind. And he obviously is talking about not coping or dealing with it in the most healthy ways, through drinking, through smoking. Then he moves on to even the needle, probably heroin. And my guess is within the song, he is actually doing heroin. And I don't know if it's meant to be at the end that he has passed away because of the drug use, or if it's meant to show this like moment of peace, this escape. Now he sees heaven. And it's just brilliant the way that they did that. And I think it's kind of open for interpretation. My guess would be it's not trying to say that he has like died from the drugs or overdosed, but that he's as it's ramping up through the song, it is this picture of spiraling, right? Until he can get the drugs. And then there's this kind of like easing out. And into this moment of peace, which we know ultimately is not lasting. It's a medicating of a deeper issue. And generally, it's just going to leave you worse off than you were in the first place. But the one thing he just said, is until I'm 6 feet underground, and that's true, the battle within our minds is a lifelong process. And we grow and we learn and we get better at certain things and handling certain things. And sometimes we fail at it. Sometimes we're tripping forward, right? But it's a lifelong battle, a lifelong wrestling. But we can get better at it. So interesting. Okay, let's move into track number 5, Typical Situation.
Fingers counting, we have each 9 planets around the sun repeat.
Oh, I love this. 10, 9, 8, 7. So cool.
Triumphant beat, 7 oceans pummel the shores of the sea.
Wow.
It's a typical situation.
Oh, he's brilliant, man. He's brilliant.
Many choices, It's a typical situation in these typical times. Too many choices. Everybody's happy, everybody's free. Keep the big door open, everyone will come around. While you different, while you that way. If you don't get in line, we'll lock you away. Comes down to nothing. Six senses feeling fire around a sense of sound. 4 seasons turn on and turn on. I can see 3 corners from this corner. 2's a perfect number, but 1, well, everybody's happy, everybody's free. We'll keep the big door open, everyone will come around. While you different, while you that way. If you don't get in line, we'll lock you away. Oh, everybody's happy, everybody's free. We'll keep the big door open, everyone will come around. While you that way, if you don't get in line, we'll lock you away. It all comes down to nothing.
I love the way he sings that.
Typical times, too many choices. It's a typical situation in these typical times, too many choices. We can't do a thing about it. Too many choices. It's a typical situation in these typical times. Too many choices. Yeah, everybody's happy, everybody's free. We'll keep moving down, everyone will come around. Well, you different, while you that way. If you don't get in line, we'll lock you away. Oh, everybody's happy, everybody's free. We'll keep the big door open, everyone will come around. Well, you different, well, you that way. If you don't get in line, we'll lock you away, right?
Kind of sound like sirens. Is that a flute?
Everybody's happy, everybody's free. We'll keep the main door open, everyone will come around. Well, you different, well, you that way. If you don't get in line, we'll lock you away. It all comes down to nothing. It's a typical situation in these typical times. Too many choices. It's a typical situation in these typical times. Too many choices. We can't do a thing about it. Too many choices. It's a typical situation in these typical times. Too many choices.
Really, man, the songwriting is just brilliant. I feel like what he's speaking to there is this kind of like this false peace, speaking to kind of consumerism, typical, what is it, typical time, typical situation. It's a typical situation in these typical times, too many choices. It is. It's just that idea that I think we have so much at our fingertips that there are too many choices. And then he says, everybody's happy, everybody's free. And I feel like that's a bit tongue in cheek, because you would assume the more choices you have, the more access you have, that you would be more happy, more free. But a lot of times we find that those things just enslave us, and we're less happy, less peaceful, because we're so stuck on things that maybe don't really matter, while we neglect the things that matter most. So you've got, 10,000 different shows and movies that you can watch. And yet, if you're anything like me, you spend most of your time scrolling around trying to figure out what to watch. That has been my MO the past week. Because I'm not necessarily watching anything, and then by the time I'm going to bed, I'm like too tired to actually invest in anything. So I kind of scroll around. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I don't really want to wake up in the middle of the night to screaming, so I'm not going to watch that. I don't really want to wake up to like gunfights, so I'm not going to watch that. And a lot of times I end up just throwing on a comedian because I can listen to them, you know, while I fall asleep without really having to pay much attention. So it's just so interesting. The idea of falling in line, like, don't you dare challenge the status quo. Like, this is the way we're going, okay? Just get on board with it. And it's such an introspective song, you know? And again, these are 1994, because it's the thing. It's like what the things we're facing today aren't necessarily new. They may appear a bit different and look a bit different, obviously, but they're much the same type of evil that just kind of repeats itself over and over and over and wants to enslave us as humanity, even though it takes on different faces. So the song is just as poignant today as it was then. All right, track number 6. Listen, I've been dancing and my shoe came untied, so let me tie my shoe, please. You don't mind? Ah! Sorry, I almost knocked something over. You don't mind, do you? So, okay, just making a mess over here. So how's your day going? You doing good? Oh, yeah? No. Really? Wow. Yeah? Well, that's good. All right. Cool. Thanks. All right, let's get in. This is track number 6, Dancing Nancies.
Could I have been a parking lot attendant? Could I have been a millionaire ballet? Could I have been lost somewhere in Paris? Could I have been your little brother? Could I have been anyone other than me? Could I have been anyone other than me? Could I have
The band is so good.
anyone other than me? Could I have been anyone? He stands, touches his shoes untied, tongue gaping.
Oh, it's so cool.
Could I have been a magnet for money? Could I have been anyone other than me? 23 and so tired of life, such a shame to throw it all away. The images grow darker still. Could I have been anyone other than me? And then I look up at the sky.
Was not expecting that.
Air can taste, what's the use in lying? What's the use in
Wow, dude.
turn, we almost become busy. I am who I am, who I am. Well, who am I? Questing some enlightenment. Could I have been anyone other than me? And I'll sing and dance, I'll play for you tonight. The thrill of it all. Dark clouds may help me sometimes, but I'll work it out in the night. Look up at the sky, my eyes open wide. Clear can taste, what's the use in worrying? What's the use in hiding? Turn, we almost become busy.
Oh, it's a bass.
Falling out of a world of dancing Nancy. Could I have been anyone other than me?
Oh, gosh. Ooh, got a long instrumental. Going to town on the guitar, man. Dude, they're the definition of jamming. So good, so fun. I'm getting hot. My ears are turning red. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly... Okay, here's what we got to do first. And I think I might have looked this up on a stream, but I cannot remember. Excuse me. So Dancing Nancy. It's a well-known song, okay. Nancies, Plural's concert. Explores themes of life choices, perspective. The title was inspired during a trip to Zimbabwe, though the term Dancing Nancy has also been referred to in other unrelated contexts as slang. Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking for. What does that mean? Dancing Nancy is more accurate than Nancy is a slang term for a transvite prostitute in parts of France. Interesting. Okay, let's go look at it in context, because I feel like the major theme of the song is this questioning of like, could have done this, could have done that, could have been this, could have been that. This worrying, have I done the right thing, gone the right way? It's almost that introspection that pushes you in too far into the negative, right? Whereas some introspection is good only if it's informing your present and pushing you further into, or informing your present and illuminating your future, ultimately. But sometimes you get so caught up in your head that you debilitate yourself. Because it's just kind of like, it seems like he is overthinking and then kind of gives over to this like childlike, carefree nature, tongue open, mouth to the sky, catching rain. And, ultimately it does remind me, I think Matthew 5, it's either Matthew 5 or Matthew 6, I think it's Matthew 5, when Jesus says, who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life? And ultimately he's saying is like, tomorrow has enough trouble of its own. And the reality is that a lot of times worrying, I'm not talking about, there's an amount of like things that need your attention and need your care, but this anxious worrying that is not producing anything and is literally like, what's the word? Paralyzing you. That kind of worrying is not productive. That's a good way to say it, right? It's not producing, it's paralyzing. And I feel like that's kind of what he's saying here. It's not like, hey, who gives a crap about the things that you're actually supposed to give a crap about, but more so just this worrying that'll send you down this, spiral. So my mouth is open wide, lick and taste. What's the use in worrying? What's the use in hurrying? Turn, we almost become dizzy. Falling out of a world of lies. Could I have been a dancing Nancy? Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's just saying like, it's this questioning, right? Nancy is a slang for an effeminate homosexual. The term is also used to refer to transsexual prostitutes. So yeah, I wonder ultimately if it's just this like, the idea of far from who I am right now, far from where I'm at, and these questions that are unanswered of what if I had done that or what if I had done this. I feel like that's kind of what he's doing with that. And could I have been anyone other than me? I don't know. Maybe it's also this feeling of wanting to be someone different than him. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Really interesting though. Okay, I'm excited for this one. Only I don't know, the title's really intriguing. This is track number 7, titled Ants Marching. Oh, I've heard this one. In some form or another, this was a big one. Never heard the lyrics. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Is it monotony? Kind of a marriage that's turned into just like roommates. Yeah, dang, man. Such a great writer. There's the album title.
exchange, no time to exchange. When all the little lambs are marching, red and black and tan are waving. They all do it the same. They all do it the same way. Candyman tempting the thoughts of a sweet tooth, tortured by weight loss. Program a cut, sing the corners of loose end, cat, on the fence, good not to a fan, cat, take these chances.
That's as close to rapping as he's got.
Place them in their box and tenderly quiet at a time. Lights down, you up and down.
Oh, so good.
Lights down, you up and down.
Blown away, man. Every track. He's singing about such wonderful content matter. Dude. This idea of ants marching, obviously it's just speaking to essentially the rat race, the ants marching, just kind of living without living, existing. Which, listen, you can't get rid of like all monotony in life. Part of the ability to be an adult and be mature, be a person of character is in the monotony of life, to remain consistent, to be faithful, to not always have to chase the highs. But within that, we can't lose the specialness, for lack of a better word, the specialness of life. And we have to be willing to take chances. And I feel like what he's just saying is, it's interesting, the idea of the candy man torturing the sweet tooth from his weight loss plan or something like that, that he points to these things that are, not that they're meaningless, our weight, our health, these things matter, but I feel like those are the kinds of things when, if you've ever seen Breaking Bad, no spoilers, don't worry. When the series starts, Walter White, who is meant to be this person, who is like kind of lost the passion for life, feels like life has passed him by. He's settled into this very kind of boring suburban life. He's getting older. And so like he wakes up in the morning and everything's so normal. The lighting in the house is so drab. He gets on this like stepping exercise machine in the bedroom that they're converting into a nursery because they're having a late life baby. And he's just on this little like steppy, pumpy thing. And everything that happens is just supposed to paint this picture of like, you're just existing and not living. And so I feel like even the idea of the weight loss, because his wife makes like turkey bacon instead of regular bacon. And I feel like that's kind of what he was doing with the sweet tooth idea, is just that his biggest concern is his weight, or his weight loss plan. So yeah, I feel like he's telling us, take chances, live. Take these chances, place them in a box until a quieter time, lights down, you up and die. It's just like, yeah, you keep putting this thing off, putting life off. And then guess what? Time's up. Okay, nobody's written much on Genius about the song. Okay. But no, I knew I had heard that song. That was a big one, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if my dad used to have a Dave Matthews Band album. I used to listen to it on the radio or something. Okay, this is track number 8, titled Lover, Lay Down.
Spring the sweet rhythm dance in my head.
I don't believe he's gonna slow it down through this whole thing.
Lover's hand.
I'd be perfectly okay with that, but I feel like there's gonna be this like bam bam bam.
Sleep I would inside your mouth. Don't be just too shy for knowing it's no big surprise that I will wait for you. I will wait for no one but you. Oh, please, lover, lay down. Spend this time with me together, share this smile. Lover, lay down. Spend this time with me, walk with you, hold my hands, your hands. So much we have dreamed, and we were so much younger. Hard to explain that we are stronger. A million reasons life to deny. Let's toss them away. See you and me, we're laid down. Love say she and he by my lover's side. Together share this smile. Each other's tears to cry. Together share this smile. Lover, lay down. Lover, lay down. Oh, please, lover, lay down. And you weep, lover, lay down. 'Cause it's over, lover, lay down. Say love, say love, say love, say love, say love. And they'll move it. Could I love you? Could you love me? Could I love you? Could you love me? Could I love you? Could you love me? Could I love you? Could you love me?
Saxophone's killing it, dude. I mean, he's talking with that thing.
So we dance away. So we dance away. Till we dance away. Till we dance away. Chasing me all around, leading
That's a sultry love song right there, man.
Circles chasing me all around, leading me all around.
You know he's got all the women swooning at the concerts with this song. Excellent. I feel like I'm one of the people on the swings on the cover art. I'm on just this ride, this magical carnival night with this album. Let's see. I mean, the premise of the song seems pretty straightforward. I'm so surprised that there's not any, like on Genius, there's really nobody commenting. There are hardly any annotations on this early album, no about sections. I do know that there is a fan website, the Ants, I think antsmarching.com or something like that. So maybe most people, hang over there. I'm just surprised nobody's made it over here to update any of these listings. Yeah, but obviously, I mean, it's this idea of, it doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, I think there definitely is, like, it's a sexual song, but first and foremost, just the closeness. I mean, to lay, to cuddle, to kiss, to be near one another. It's just a song of intimacy, ultimately. All right. Now, if I remember from reading some of the about for this album, Jimi Thing, track number 9, it's about a joint or something. Yeah, long draws from mellow joints. So we'll see. All right, track number 9, Jimi Thing. This can be real, like summer hanging out in the streets type song, a summer drive song.
Lately I've been feeling low around my knees where them skin. I take a taste of what's fellow. Come my way to something better. What I want is what I've not got, but what I need is all around me. Reach and search and never stop. And I said, if you could keep me floating just for a while, till I get to the end of this tunnel, oh mommy. If you could keep me floating just for a while, I'll get back to you. Sometime I'm jamming things out my way. is gone, I'm on my back, staring up at the ceiling. I take a drink, sit back and relax, smoke my mind to make me feel better for a small time. What I want is whatever I got, when what I need is all around me. Reach and search and never stop. And I said, if you could keep me floating just for a while, till I get to the end of this tunnel, oh mommy. If you could keep me floating just for a
Man, I love how he moves between these different like energies, and
sometime I take a Jimi Thing.
see, now we're in this like stank face. Like just like that, he's out into something else and back in. And now we're back chill, calm, bring it down.
Lately I'm feeling low, and a remedy's what I'm looking for. So I take a taste of what's below. Come my way. If you could keep me floating just for a while, till I get to the end of this tunnel, oh Jimmy. If you could keep me floating just for a while, like it meant to you. Sometime I take a Jimi Thing just to keep me swinging, and like to show you what's inside. But that's I don't care if you don't like it. But okay, I still out and down. Sometime I walk there, yes, God, sometime I think I swear. Stood on there, stood on here, but real there's a feeling.
They've really been letting the sax go to work here these last few tracks. Man, so cool. Well, I think it's pretty clear with that track. The idea of just recognizing that maybe life feels overwhelming at times or heavy, and him, you know, smoking a joint or something to help with that, like at the end of the day. The song is about altered states of consciousness brought about by the use of chemical substances, particularly how they aren't always a bad thing, as other D&B songs might suggest. Via MTV, a Jimi Thing in some places is a condom, Matthews said. Okay, but for him, he said, it was a temporary song title that stuck. It was kind of reminiscent of the early days of Jimi Hendrix, and we didn't have any names for any of the songs, so we called it the Jimi Thing. Song was released as a single from Under the Table and Dreaming. That's so interesting. So I guess ultimately he's saying, you know, whatever it might be that brings you these moments of relief or joy or peace. Again, not condoning or condemning either of them. Obviously, it sounds like. And obviously, you can have your own opinions about that. What is and isn't a harmful or positive way to deal with certain things. Just be careful you don't medicate the real reason. Or like medicate to forget, to numb out the real reason. You know, and never ever getting to the actual root of something. Yeah, see, a remedy is what I'm seeking for feeling low. What I want is what I've not got, but what I need is all around me. Reaching, searching, never stop. Yeah, this take a Jimi thing just to keep me swinging. I guess like to keep me in the fight. Again, man, just a really interesting vehicle, you know, to say something. All right, here we go. This is track number 10, titled Warehouse. Wow, it's a big shift, big mood shift. This is cool, man. It's very dark. Where are we going? Oh, cowbell.
On a plane, hopeless heaven.
Gosh, dude, the atmosphere in this is so good. This song is a journey, dude. You almost had a little Michael Jackson flair there. Does that 7 minutes, 6 seconds? So that is the longest song on the album. Man, what a journey. I had taken a few notes as we were going through it, trying to figure out as he talks about the like black cats and going under ladders. And I was like, so is he in a way saying that like, it sounded like he was talking about a love interest. They could beat the odds type, or like live with risk, or like these things don't ultimately matter or have a bearing on their life. But then I really like wasn't sure where he was ultimately going within it. So let's take a look at it for a second. There's not really anything here on Genius, but I'm sure we can find a Reddit. All right, so Warehouse by Dave Matthews Band's a metaphor for life, urging listeners to embrace the present, live without fear. Okay, that's kind of what I was saying. Cherish experiences before time runs out. Seems to be a common theme in the album. Song contrasts the anxiety of fleeting life. This warehouse frightens me. See, by warehouse, is he trying to talk about like an actual warehouse or a job and feeling kind of stuck in it? With the beauty of living fully, suggesting that even with inevitable decay, life is too good to regret, encouraging a bags packed for heaven mindset. The warehouse represents the mind, memories, and the internal space where thoughts and fears are stored. Okay, that's cool. The overall meaning is to experience and enjoy life. Here, you guys can see it here. Is to enjoy and experience life while you can. The use of the word warehouse is a metaphor for your internal thoughts and dreams. All the stuff you've stored or can still store in your head, but someday you'll fade away and those walls and halls will disappear and your bags will be packed, hopefully to heaven. But while you're here, keep your sights on all the cool stuff going on around you, even if it seems bad or scary or unlucky, so that at the end you don't have regrets and have to beg that you'd love to stay, but rather will be confident enough to say you're ready to go away, that you were lucky to have been here. Wow, it's really beautiful. Cool, man. I can't wait to listen to that song again, just kind of through a different lens. All right, we have track number 11 as we're nearing the end of this album. The title is Pay for What You Get.
Work ourselves, fingers to the bone, suck the marrow, drain my soul, pay your dues and your debts, pay your respects. Everybody tells you you pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. Everybody asks me how she's doing. Has she really lost her mind? I said I couldn't tell you I've lost mine. Words, have you heard? A bird in hand is much better than any number free to wander. Fly away, stay. You pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. Everybody asks me how she's doing. It's really all she says. Everybody asks me how she's doing since she went away. I said I couldn't tell you I'm okay. I'm surprise, surprise, you pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. Everybody asks me how she's doing. lost her. Everybody asks me how she's doing since she went away. I said I couldn't tell you. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I wonder if this has to do with his sister. Definitely the most is there something here? Is an accident that they interesting, leaving all that space in the end. It's definitely the most melancholy track on the album so far. Yeah, I'm really curious about that one. Pay for what you get. I wonder if he's trying to say something different, or it's just a different way of saying you get what you pay for. Or is it kind of like you get what you pay for means like you had it coming to you, versus pay for what you get might just mean that like you couldn't do anything about something and you kind of just had to pay for it. Does that make sense? It's like there are some things that you do and the repercussions of those things are like you get what you paid for, like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But I wonder if the way he's trying to say it is kind of like there's some things that happen to you that are not good, but are completely outside of your control. And so then ultimately you are paying for what you get, for what you got, even if it's not what you necessarily asked for. So this says, the song's title is an inversion of the phrase, you get what you pay for. Matthew seems to speak in the romantic sense, suggesting there's a cosmic toll for the good things that come your way in life or in a relationship. Somebody said, yeah, cool. Let's see if anybody else can give us a little different insight too. Not good, regularly skip. Yeah, I was going to say I haven't encountered any on here that are like that. It's interesting they don't have the final track on here. Am I missing something about the final track? Number 34, 5 minutes long. Huh. They don't have it on here. This song has a great deal of meaning for me. My mother is schizophrenic and in and out of mental institutions. The lyrics, everybody asks me how she's doing. Has she really lost her mind? I said I couldn't tell you, I have lost mine. Perfectly describes the way I feel every time I have to deal with an episode of this. Everyone is expecting for you to have answers for them, and you can't even get a grip on yourself. It's a great way of giving words to my emotions. Yeah, he really does. I know for a fact Dave wrote this after his bandmate demanded he write more songs. Pay for what you get can only be taken two ways. You get what you put into something. You get something and you still have to pay for it. Personally, I think he means it both ways in the song. Saying getting your goal, it far exceeds what you've worked for. And maybe due to the touring and schedule your girl leaves you, it would almost seem that you're paying for the excess you received. Interesting. All right. Let's move in. Track number 12, the final track on this album, titled Number 34, which I do know I've seen Dave Matthews has these, like, at least in 2 albums, if not multiple, these tracks that just have a number with them. So, interested in finding more out about that. But let's see how he chooses to close this album. Oh, is this an instrumental? There are no lyrics. Let's see. Wrong button. If it is an instrumental, I wonder if it's supposed to harken back to, like, you had a lot of classical music, like Sonata Number 5. Maybe we'll look up at the end of this, the reasoning. But I'm just going to enjoy it, so soak it in with me. They are such talented musicians. Kind of gives you the opportunity to just kind of soak in everything that you listen to. Like, this kind of album you put on, you sit in the dark. Such a soothing melody, man. The saxophone's just bringing enough of that like low end. Is that a banjo or a mandolin? Such a fusion of sounds. I am nothing but smiles. What a beautiful experience, man. Dave Matthews Band is really something else. Really something special, man. But you have to be making music since 1994. Holy crap. That's over 30 years. And an album in 94, 96, 98, 01, 02, 05. I know he also did some solo work, and then you've got 2009, 2012, 2018, 19, 2023. Absolutely exceptional. Let's look in, and I'm sure it just has to do with the instrumentals. Why are some numbers? Dave Matthews Band songs are often named with numbers because Dave Matthews has historically struggled to come up with titles for new tracks. These numbers typically correspond to the chronological order in which the band wrote or arranged the songs, acting as placeholders that often stuck. Songs like number 34, number 36, 41 represent the order in which they were written. That's cool. Some numbered songs were later given official titles, or the number simply became the title. I think that's great, man. And it just adds to this personality they have as a band. I'm musically malnourished, so I'm not in the best place to speak to it, but I don't know of any other bands that sound like this. Absolutely exceptional. Well, I hope that you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself. Now I get to take that album off of the shelf. I get to put it on my record player, so always excited about that. I even had to step away for a little bit in filming this and take my kids somewhere, and I put on, the first part of this that I had listened to, and they were really enjoying it too. So that's another fun thing about finding artists like this, that for the most part, I'm sure he has some songs out there that may not be fully appropriate for kids, but for the most part, man, I'm really impressed how clean the music is. Obviously there are some themes, that deal, whether it's sexual or drugs or things like that, but there are enough songs in his library that the whole family can really just enjoy. So I love that. Well, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Again, if you want to come and join our community over on Patreon, we have a lot of content there for a lot of bands. I try to make that available for as cheap as humanly possible and provide as much content, as much value as possible. So feel free to check it out, patreon.com/musically malnourished. And so hopefully I'll see you over there, but if I don't, I'll see you in the next one. It's reading good.